I'm Ruth Kenner. Welcome to my studio here at I Quilt and More. I'm going to talk about organization, but unlike the usual conversation, physical organization, which is very important. It's very important to be able to find things. For instance, I couldn't find my thing today. But it's very important to find things, but also organization, what goes on in our life, when we do things, how we do it. And I have several tools that I've developed, and I don't even think I'll get them all into one video. I might have to continue on to the next video with it. I'm going to start with how I change things. How I changed things is I started working with the Quilter's Planner from 2018, even though I still use digital planners, and I have two that interface with iCal, and I do match up what's in here. I find writing things out and planning them make a big difference. And I chose Quilter's Planner, and I couldn't be happier. I think it's really important that we not only worry about our physical space, but what's going on in here. That we think about the things we want to think about, we plan realistically how we're going to get it done, and we enjoy the process. And so first, in order to start, I just want to start with this. And if there's a lack of time, then we'll go on next time and I'll talk about, I think, what's called the Zeigarnik effect. So for this time, this is the 2018 Quilter's Planner. And as you can see, it has a cover on it. Some people make a new cover every year. I love this cover way too much to do that. It's got a lot of really nice things in it, and I'll put a link onto Quilter's Planner if you wish to purchase it, but it also has several links to several covers. This is my cover. I really love it. I emptied it out for privacy reasons. It's usually packed full of things. It still has some things in it. I have a zipper opening to it. I have on this side several envelopes. This is here just to look good. If you notice, I have here, this is supposed to be for business cards. I purposely made it a little smaller, and the reason is business cards go like that. Otherwise, I will forget about them. They have to go like this until they go like that, and then once a month I clean it out. That's I found is really good. I have two things here. They're put on the wrong side. They'll be fixed. They're for place markers. So let's take a look at the back side. The same thing. I put in something here so I could put pins and needles, because I do hand sewing, even though I do have an incredible machine now. I do that. So this is the planner from last year, and there were some changes, but let's go ahead and look at the new one, and you can see it does not have the cover on it yet. There was a choice of 3 planners. One was unbound and 2 were the same, but just a different picture here on front. I picked this one, even though it will be covered up. I love this, the colors of this. 2019, hard to believe. And even if you find out about this a little later on in the year, start as soon as possible. I love the planner. It's got a lot of really good ideas coming on to it. Of course, you've got the usual stuff, dates and deadlines and personal information. But what I really like here is the yearly goals. These are the big goals. I checked in once a month. I haven't filled this out yet because it's kind of personal, but I did do some filling out, but not on this. These are really nice to have, and you can look at another page just to write and be creative on. This is, I'll go through with the magazine. This is a sew along, and maybe another chance we'll talk about creativity and how I use the sew along and pick my own colors. And then we get to the month. So there's 2 parts. There's the monthly version and the weekly. This year starts from Sunday to Saturday. I really love it. A lot of people are disappointed and they hack it. And a lot of people last year was disappointed when it went Monday to Sunday. This is my preferred method, and I hope that you could have a choice. There's notes here that you could take and a place to write down a few extra stuff. I fill them out. And we'll just go through 1 week here. Each week has a picture of a block, and I really like that. You can see that each week has, the beginning of the first month has a block. And we have the habit tracker. I'm still not used to using it. I might have to hack it a bit. I'm still online checking good ideas. I use this mostly for my quilting and my creativity. I do match up important things like doctor appointments or meetings, but I use it for my creativity. I use stickers a lot. I have a pile of stickers. As you can see in the back, there's also even more stickers, and I love to use it for that. Each week has a personal to-do list. I love the personal to-do list, and I go from week to week to make sure I did it. The quilting to-do list, really nice, because then it lays it out, because a lot of times I'm not realistic. I think that I'm going to make like 3 blocks, but I still have to prep for it. So if I click things off at the end of the week, I know that at least they're prepared, and if only one is sewn, that's okay. Shopping list, I try to keep that as minimal as possible. A lot of times I write things out and then I cross them off because I know I'm going too far, so it gives me a visual. And of course, notes. I like to take notes a lot. Maybe how I get things done. I put a sticker here because Saturday is my day of rest every day, and that's basically it. I just love it. The best part about it, at least in my opinion, is when we get to the next section. This is the patterns. Even though I don't do this, I like to create my own quilts and design my own. I love reading about other artists. I love reading about it, taking a look at them, looking online. I enjoy having it. This is the idea saver. I didn't even realize about this until I was at the end of the year in my last one. Lots of pages to write things. We really need it to be creative. Here's the projects. I love this. Years ago, I found the equivalent to this and printed it out, and I discovered that I had too many things to do. Let's get real. Every one of us is our own personal project manager. I started getting rid of things, and that helped. Of course, it will be full. The other thing I found out is if I have big projects, 3, 4 is all I can realistically do. If I have, at the same time, because we like to do more than once. If we have small projects, we can do more. If I fill up all this, I won't get any done. All right, so then the project planner. Now this is the first one I've done. This is being carried over. This is my son's quilt. You can see I have a little thing stuck here. This is work that's to be done. All of this has been sewn on, but of course the quilt doesn't really look like that. But I have a lot of measurement because I'm sewing on threads. But here's the other page, and that's an improvement from last year. Really love that improvement. Because I can add things on instead of each page having one. I make sure that I don't have too many of these. I can always, I can always add on, so I plan on adding on and writing up. Before this, I would take notes, and I'd lose them all over the place. And I like to take a lot of notes for when I'm going places. So you could see there's a lot of these, and you can also download, if you really like this idea, you could download from her site, and more things to write on. Reference. Love the reference. Right here, you don't have to go online, you don't have to search for it, you can't find the book, it's something you use every day. Here's a reference. Suggested quilt size, suggest a standard batting side, yardage, statement size of percent of fabrics. Really good. Conversion into metrics. Everything that you need. Quilting estimates. I really enjoyed it. Last year's had other things on it too. Really good for making really quick triangles and things like that. Just right here. Again, you don't have to go online. Really good estimates, how big they're going to do, how big they're going to be. I use this a lot, all this. This reference, love it. I plan on going and enlarging it twice as big on a big piece of paper and making several copies of this, and really filling this in. So on one of my projects for next year. Really love it. I like the whole idea. Color theory, nice to have. Good reference. You look it up. I read things on color theory regularly. When I'm actually doing colors, I get it out. It's in my brain somewhere, but I get it out. I love to have the reference. And then we just have more idea savers. We could just keep on going on idea savers. And of course, here's the stickers. Really love using stickers. It means it's quicker. I don't have to write things out that are obvious. And that's what it means. We have a lot more. She has a lot of birthdays. I don't know how many kids she thinks I have, because there's a lot of birthdays, or how many siblings I have. And we have this nice little envelope. For me, I keep here types of batting, so I have more reference. And I have my little embroidery because I like to do it. Instead of having to go through a whole book of embroidery, I just use the same stitches again and again. And we are done with that. And then it comes with the Quilter's Planner magazine. I love it. lots of ideas, lots of things to read, and I am doing this Quilter's Planner, and I'm going to the sampler, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how I use it for color. I take one design, don't change anything, and I changed the color concept altogether. It's just a practice on color. It's something I really enjoyed doing last year's, and I'll probably show you it in the future, how I take samplers or I sew alongs and change the color altogether and practice my color theory. And it means that everything looks extremely different, but inside the magazine, there's a lot of really good information. And even if you don't use it, I myself like to design my own. Unlike my clothes, I usually buy a pattern. I prefer to design my own quilts, but I like to look at other designers. I like to read about them, and I love looking at the pictures, and I enjoy not having to go online for everything. And there's just a few tips. Something that's really popular right now, it's English paper piecing. I've tried it. Unlike embroidery, I really prefer to sew by hand, embroidery, that is. I really love to do hand embroidery. But sewing, I want it to be by machine, actual sewing, as much as possible. So that's basically it. Even though I don't like to use some of these designs, I would show you one design I was tempted to do because it's so much not what I would do. It's so out of the way for my design, and I love it. And the idea of doing something totally different and learning from it, I just thought that would be a really good idea. But it would mean I would add on another project. And like I said, I'm trying to limit my projects and not grow them so I can get more done. So next time, we're going to talk about the Zeigarnik effect and how a psychologist called Bluma Zeigarnik really changed the way I worked. She discovered something all the way in 1927 about her short-term memory and how it really changed how I got things done and helped me actually finish more quilts and enjoy the process a lot more. And hopefully we'll talk about it next time, or maybe in the middle of the week we'll have an extra video for you. Thank you, and signing off.